Ladies and gentlemen, this is JJL Gaming, and welcome to Railroad Tycoon 2. Let me paint you guys a little picture here. It's 2001, 2002, 2003 maybe. You just made. I'm a little young. I'm 12 or 13 years old. I just made some money stocking shelves, and I walk into my local Bart Smith or Dixon's or Free Record Shop, which I don't know if those chains even exist outside of the Netherlands, but you probably have similar chains where you're from. And outside of this shop there's a little metal bin which has games for €5 or €3, or maybe it was even guilders back then. This might have been pre-Euro. And you spend your hard-earned shelf stocking money on a old game, 5+ years old game at that point, and you play it. And that's how I played Civilization. That's for the first time. That's how I played Crusader Tycoon for the first time. And remember, this was the time when you couldn't look up anything about these games because there was no internet, or if there was any internet, good luck finding any reviews there. So I had no idea what this was when I bought it, and then I bought it 5 years after it was first released. I bought this beautiful game, Railroad Tycoon 2. And I saw it on Steam for like, I don't know, €2 or something. I was like, I have to pick this up, right? That's the bargain bin of the modern era. It's Steam summer sales, right? So, and this game shaped me in more ways than one. One of the last episodes of last series, I told you guys about how The Blues Brothers was one of my favorite movies. And also this game, let's just take a moment to listen to this soundtrack. Beautiful, beautiful soundtrack, and those two things are what got me into blues music. And now, the 32-year-old middle-aged man still enjoys this music very much. But the game itself is fantastic too, so let's dive in. New campaign. Classic campaign. Okay, I did a few trial runs, and this game is surprisingly difficult. This is one of those 90s games. I think it was released in 1996 or 1998, and I bought it, like I said, when it was in the bargain bin, so in 2002 or 2003. It's one of those 90s games which are brutal, so we're going to start off at easy difficulty. Start a new campaign on the easy difficulty is recommended for folks who have little prior experience with computer strategy games. Oof, you don't don't come at me like that, game. I have 1,600 hours in there. Oh.
Well, hello there. You're noticing the gents on the board.
I sure am, partner.
Iron men is what they call them. Some of them upright businessmen. Some as low down as a snake's belly. But all of them were legends. Many a daydream I found myself wondering what it would be like to reign high on the rails of steel. You too, huh? Oh, why don't you give it a try? Take a gander at the first challenge, the Iron Seed. You might want to make some different choices from how the Iron Men got started. Choose an option from the bottom group, then get started. By the looks of you, this should be pretty entertaining. I think I'll stick around. Go on, get to it.
Alrighty there, partner. Okay, so we can pick a couple of scenarios. We can pick the Iron Seed, Handle on the Breadbasket, Bridging a Nation, and a couple of other ones. And they're all a bit later down because we're gonna of course start with the OG 1830. And we can pick a couple of bonuses. We can pick straight up 50k. We can pick up 10% lower track building cost, which most likely will already be better than the 50k because the tracks are very expensive in this game. Or we can choose to have the John Bull available early, which is a locomotive. Okay, we will dive in because there's a lot to this game, and really the only way to understand it is to play it. And
hello, you awake? Go ahead and select a map to get started.
Shut up, partner. I'm working on it. Okay, we're gonna do the John Bull, I think. Yeah.
Well, here you are, on the threshold of greatness. With the sweat and labor of the first spikes you drive, you'll be launching your first trains and at the same time an era of revolutionary transport. Watch as a nation grows with the help of your iron horses. The people of that nation, if not the whole dang world, are watching and hoping, so don't mess up.
Oh yeah, this soundtrack. The Baltimore Ohio was the first fully operational steam railroad in the US. Built by a group of 7 Baltimore businessmen, it proved to be highly successful and set a path for others to follow. As chairman of the B&O, you must connect Baltimore to Washington and haul at least 4 cargo loads by the end of 1840. To earn a silver, you must also connect to Harper's Ferry and haul at least 8 loads. For Gold Victory, connect to Philadelphia and haul at least 12 loads. Okay, so by 1840 we need to have a connection between Washington and Baltimore and haul a couple of loads there. All right. And the John Bull is available immediately. That's the bonus I said. This is so the first one is I think Stephenson's Rocket, which is just sort of an experimental locomotive. So this is a little bit faster. And you can see here, this game is incredibly detailed. It's so you can see, okay, if you have a grade of 2%, then this with 1 cart, and this train will go 15 miles an hour. So there's a whole table here. This was the late 90s, guys. Yeah, you had to be an expert at Excel in order to play any game. Okay. If things are running a bit sluggishly for you, oh, don't worry, there won't be. Try lowering some of the graphics settings. Oh yeah, that's pretty fun actually. I'm gonna show you guys that first before we dive into this. They are really there's like the graphics options for this game. Yeah, so there's 800 by 600 screen, and there's like the ultra high graphics settings. They're not even all the way up because. No, this game does not expect you to have a PC beefy enough to handle its awesome graphics, so we're of course going to crank that all the way up. Oh, no border. Alright, here we are, guys. Railroad Tycoon 2. I can't believe it was as easy as it was to get this thing to run, because this game is literally, 26 years old. So this game is probably older than many of you guys watching this channel, but man, I have so many fun memories of this game. There's a couple of other games like it that I might play later. I also have equally fun memories of. All right, let's dive into this game. There's a lot to it. But first off, this is our starting station, Baltimore. So this station has a couple of amenities. You can double press it and you can see all these amenities. What do we have? We have. Can we see that? We have to do it like this, right? Saloon. We have a water tower, sanding tower for the train, so they need sands for the sanding for the brakes, and water for the cooling and the steam. We have a roundhouse so that they can turn around easily. And you can see that this station, Baltimore, supplies passengers, mail, and food, and demands passengers and milk because it's a big city, and also lumber, milk, other stuff. That's because of these buildings here. You can actually, that's a good thing. It's like these are all sprites, and this is a game from 1996, guys, and I think it holds up remarkably well. You know, if you forget the 2 black bars on the end of your screen, you know, this was before 16:9 aspect ratio. But if you look at the detail on these houses, you know, there's sort of clothes drying here. All these trees are different types. There's smoke coming from the chimney. I think actually. Oh yeah. Even if I unpause, yeah, you will see that the smoke is moving. There's stuff going on in the factory here. This conveyor belt is moving. I think it holds up remarkably well. I think it's still a joy to watch. That's the fun with having games like these. All right, but enough talking. Let's get to work. Connecting up Baltimore. So we have this building, production grain to food. It would be nice if you could get grain into Baltimore, because then this building will start producing food, and food is helpful for moving to, for example, this town. All the towns need food. Oh yeah, before we get started, so the goal of our playthrough would be to connect Baltimore to Washington down here. Secondary goal is to connect Baltimore to Harper's Ferry down here. tertiary goal is to connect it to Philadelphia, but I think we will have problems enough connecting it to Washington, because this game is quite difficult to do. So down here we have, okay, let's first off, okay, I'm not going to explain everything at once, because then we will be here a very long time. Let's first try to build a station. Should we go for a medium station in relay? We want to connect this grain up also, right? It's already 100k. But we gotta do it, I think. Why can we not build it? You can put a station here, it must be on clear ground next to existing track. Okay, we have to build the track first. Alright, let's do that then. You can protect the track here, and I love the sound that these buttons make. It's just such a mechanical sound. Oh yeah, and I love, of course, this soundtrack. There's so many, there's like 200 tracks or something like that. It's insane. Okay, let's build a little railroad here. How much has that set me back? Oh, only 90-ish K. And then let's build a train station here. I think because I started off at normal difficulty, I think everything is cheaper because I'm on easy. There we go. Relay. Alright. Should we buy immediately? So, I remember that was sort of a reaction I had, despite I did the playtesting for this game, and it was the first time I've touched this game in, I think, literally like 20-ish years, or 15 years. And immediately remembered that every station really needs a sending and a water tower, because otherwise your trains will run out of braking and run out of steam. So let's try to build those, depending on how much they cost. 55k, okay, that's worth it, I think. Let's purchase those. There we go, there they are. This is relay station. And then we're gonna build a train. Let's see. Stevenson's rocket. Yeah, this is like the experimental train I talked to you about. This, I think this is not even a real train. This is like sort of the first experimental train. You have the John Bull, which is a normal train. Let's purchase that one. From Baltimore to relay. And, you can select here the cars that you want to move. So let's have a mail car attached. And relay probably needs food, right? Yeah. So let's have a food car attached as well. You can see that Baltimore's not producing that much food because that factory that I showed you needs grain before it can produce food. We're gonna have to send some passengers back, some mail, and some grain to Baltimore. So let's start off with that. Yeah. Okay, let's unpause the game then. Game speed 1, game speed 2. Here we go. Here comes the train. And all the carts are attached. It's really very, very detailed game. There's all these little nifty details. And I haven't even touched. So this is now, but this is the train part of the game. So you have to connect up stations, and you have to supply all the stations with the carts that they need. So for example, here's a coal mine which produces coal. So if I would have had a steel mill here, it would need coal, so I could connect this coal mine to that steel mill. So here, for example, in Washington we have this building which needs cotton and wool and will produce goods. I don't know if there's any. Okay, there's I think some sheep down here. Yeah, sheep farm. So it would be nice to connect this sheep farm up to Washington at some point. But it's good to start slow, right? All right, and then I didn't even show you because this is me. We are Philip Thomas. We have 98k of stock, and this is our company, Baltimore, Ohio. You can open it, and it has like so. I have no idea how I played this game as a 12-year-old kid without speaking a word of English, because this is just so detailed. Because you can do things like where is it? Yeah, we can issue bonds, issue stock, buy back stock. We can change the dividend. We can attempt a merger. We can do a whole bunch of stuff. And then, once you get more advanced, you have to also buy access rights. We have it now, but we don't need it at the moment. But and we get all the revenues and all the costs down here. Philip Thomas, my manager is Thomas Crampton. Train speed 10% higher, track maintenance 10% higher, acceleration 10% faster. That sounds reasonable to me. This guy is lower fuel costs. Let's keep Thomas Crampton around for a while. Change company name, logo. Should we change the logo? Let's see if there's a nice one. It looks a bit like my channel logo. Probably not, but Freedom gonna help me to see the light. You don't have to burn. I haven't heard this song in 15 years, but I heard it so much before that. We're gonna keep this one. There we go. I'm as giddy as a schoolgirl. Okay, so I think this first train, it's not gonna make much profit because it takes a while for this thing to generate. Like, you see now it's generated a passenger cart. So I have the carts now attached to my train, but there's nothing in them yet. Hopefully there will be something in them when we get back to relay. So otherwise we will lose our money. We are now at May 1830. I think we should move up the speed a little bit because we need the money first. Unloading, loading. Here we go. See, these white circles, they indicate the amount of profit you're gonna make from this trip. So let's see. Let's move it up even a bit further. And we're gonna make some money. Make some gosh darn money. Here we go. There we go. I got 77k. But the trip back, see, so these cars are all full. They're not like you saw previously that they were see-through. Ah, you've moved 3 loads of cargo. Good job. Remember the winning conditions are bronze, connect to Washington. All 4 loads total. But I don't think it's even between Washington and Baltimore. It's just in total. So we should be able to do that very fast. Baltimore Ohio stock is split 2 for 1. I had no idea what this meant as a kid. And I still barely have an idea. I think it's... You can trade... Splitting stock. It means it's going well, right? It means that for every stock you own now, it doubles, right? And then so there's more stocks appearing. Record price paid for Rembrandt painting at an auction. Alright. Annual report. Well, let's have a look. Investors are pleased with the chairman's performance. My salary doesn't increase. It's still 10k. Status, company, player. Philip Thomas, we earned a little bit of money. You can also buy stock in the company, I think. Okay, I guess not. We can change our name and portrait though. Let's do that. We're gonna call ourselves J. Elgamin. We're gonna do a little bit of a this guy. Look at this mustache. That's great. J. Elgamin. Actually, we'll put a J in the middle there. J. Elgamin. There we go. That's us. Alright. Should we buy some stock in the company? Now that it's split 2 for 1? No, we need the money, I think. For continuing on the track. Alright, what else does Baltimore need? We need for supply. We can double click, right? Demand, we need lumber, we need milk, we need cattle. Cattle we can find, I think. Oh, here's a lot of cattle, see? Here's like three huts of cattle. But then we do have to build a bridge, which is a hassle. Any cattle around here? Which doesn't need any bridges? No. Ah, but a bit of money, 116k. See, so now it's going quite fast. Which is nice. Okay, the end goal is to build a track to Washington, so I think we should at least try to move down there. How much does a bridge cost? And we can only connect to track that we already own, I guess. Well, we have to go down here at some point. Let's move it down a bit. That's 100k. Bridge costs 60k on its own, so let's not do that for now. This might not have been very smart either, but you know. We're almost at Washington, actually. Let's wait a couple more rounds of trains going up and down. I think we might be able to just continue the trek to Washington soon. Investors are somewhat pleased with James' performance. A couple of guys have applied for the position of manager, but I think our current manager is fine. Let's move down a bit. And let's construct a track to Washington if we can. Do we have the money for it? 207k, nope. Also, yeah, you see these green numbers, that means the slope. So you want the slope to be as low as possible, because if the slope is above to 2 degrees or so, like you saw, then the it will 1 become way more expensive to build, and 2 all the trains will be a lot slower. So let's start with this 94k. Let's move a couple trains up and down. Harper's Ferry offers a bonus of 100,000 to the first railway to connect to another city. Okay, we might do that if we get the money for it. That's what I mean, you know. It takes a lot of money. We're already in 1832. We've not even reached Washington yet because we just don't have the money for it. Speaking of which, is there any way we can get like a loan or something? As a kid, I never really understood that. Issue bonds. Issue new long-term bonds to the public. I think that means what I think it means, right? It means we issue a loan. Interest rate 9%, underwriting fees 2%. Okay, sure. 500k, right. Okay, so this is a loan we have now. But we can use the money. So we now have a 500k extra. I think Kid Me would hit himself on the head now, would be very angry with this, because I don't think I've ever used that feature before. Or if I had, I didn't understand that I needed to pay it back, because it was written in English and I didn't speak any English. Medium, I kind of want to have this port included, but I don't think we will be able to do it. Let's do it like this. Okay, let's check. Large station yeah, okay. But if we ever want to upgrade to a large station, we will include the port. But let's do it like this first. Citizens celebrate the connection of Baltimore to Washington. Great. Okay, let's build the sending tower and water tower, and let's also build a roundhouse. It also provides maintenance, and I know from experience that these trains break down a lot. So let's do that as well. So that's a total of 175k. We can afford that. There we go. Washington Station. Here we are. Okay, we can extend this train probably. So from Relay we will go to Washington, then back to Relay, and then back to Baltimore. So from Relay, yeah, there's a feature, right? Yeah. I don't know how it works exactly. Oh, this one, yeah. Sell demanded cargoes. If undemanded cargoes are in demand at the station later in this train's route, leave them on the train. Otherwise, sell them too. Yeah, that's good. So we could do a few more passengers here. And then from Relay, I think probably the food will be sold. We will put more passengers here. Because I think there's a lot of demand between Baltimore and Washington for passengers mostly. We will go food, I guess. No, I think this should be fine. Or grain maybe. Yeah, grain. I think probably Washington needs grain. Yeah. So let's put some grain. Then from Washington, we will head back with 4 passengers. Mail, maybe goods. What do we... I think goods would be good. Yeah, Relay needs goods as well. And then we are in Relay. We will do passengers, mail, grain. Yeah, let's try it like this first, and then we'll go back to Baltimore. We might build a second train for that route, but let's keep it like this for now. Here you can see the revenue it's made in the past couple of years. All right, Baltimore. Here we go, guys. Let's put it on speed 10. Good job, you fulfilled the minimum conditions for a bronze victory. He has encouraged you to press on by connecting to Harper's Ferry and hauling more cargo. All right, well, let's make a bit of money first. Investors are annoyed with the chairman's performance. Oh man, guys, I'm Elon Musk. I'm investing a ton of stuff, and then it's all for future earnings. You guys have to be happy. Boom times ahead, see? Scientist Paul Mullen discovers Bigfoot in nearby forest. Okay. Camden is offered a bonus of 100,000. Yeah, 100,000 is like you said, like you saw just now, is really not a lot of money. It will not cover the track. Here we go, Relay. Okay, we have a new locomotive. Is it better than what we have now? Let's have a look. We can say replace. We have the John Bull here and the Jewett Clinton. Okay, yeah, so you can see here, it's this one is faster in a straight line. with 1 cart. But the dude with Clinton is faster with more carts and is certainly faster climbing up hills. But we don't have many hills, so I think we can keep the John Bull. You can also see here the acceleration is extremely poor, reliability poor. John Bull is a bit better. But we'll keep the John Bull for now. Okay, relay. Oh, so many money. This is the one, guys. Frederick is offered 200. Okay, so we're gonna go that way anyway. But I kind of want to pay off my bonds first. At least partially, if we can. There we go. Overview. Very pleased. Ah, they increased my salary again. Great. Well, you haven't even seen the last here, because we're gonna do. The big money is still has to come in. Because these trains take about a year to travel between Baltimore and Washington. Here we go. Come on, money. How much money is this? Can we see that? Ah, 300k. There we go. There we go. Okay. How much money is it on the way back? A huge amount. Okay, great. I think we should pay back the loan. We have to pay an early payoff penalty. Okay, I guess not. Let's see. You have to pay back a repayment fee in addition to the principal amount of 500k. Sure. 676k. Okay, we're back, baby. That was a good investment. We might issue some more bonds to get to Frederick and Harper's Ferry. Or should we pay it out of pocket? We're excited. We get a salary raise. Very nice. Okay, I think we're gonna wait for this trip. It's struggling a bit up the hill here. We might have to hire a second train actually. Oh dear, we're losing money fast. I think we should issue those bonds anyway. JJ Elgamin. Yeah, let's issue some bonds. 500k, low interest rate, 5%. Great. Okay, we're gonna use that money to connect to Frederick. Can we do it in one go? You can also demolish houses. Let's not do that if it's not necessary. How much will this cost me? 242. That's a lot, but Frederick is offering 200k already. So that will cover it already for a large amount. Yeah, so also the building styles change depending on where you build. Yes, these are... Oh. Well, it's a crash, guys. Yes, okay. My game crashed. So I had to play up to the point where we were at last time. So you might notice a few small changes on the maps. For example, there's 3 sheep farms here now, but there's no building that requires sheep anymore in Washington. But other than that, we are mostly at the same point as we were, for you seconds ago. So I'm gonna issue some more bonds, or some bonds, and we are also about a year earlier in the timeline because I did everything on speed 10 and I just copied what we did last time, so it was a bit faster than it was before. But we are still here trying to connect the town of Frederick. Now, another somewhat annoying change is that Frederick is no longer offering any bonus for connecting it, but you know, you win some, you lose some. Ah, no, you kidding me? Don't do this to me, man. Okay, we can also demolish the track. Ah, look at this. This is gorgeous, isn't it? I love this. Look at these tiny little houses. There were so many railroad games after this, but they never really scratched the same itch for me. There was like Sid Meier's Railroads. There was like Railroad Tycoon 3, which looked somewhat better, but also simultaneously somewhat worse. It doesn't hold up as well as this game, I think. It wasn't spritework, it was just full 3D models. Okay, here we go, Frederick. I think we can do it with the small station. So let's do that. Standing tower, water tower. There's a bunch of other buildings here that attract like tourists and stuff like that. So this one reduces the delays a bit. This one increases passenger revenues. We might actually build this one in Washington or Baltimore because we have a lot of passengers there. Warehouse reduces penalty for delays. Okay, so we will have more goods, cotton and wool. Custom house. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff here. But let's start with this. Frederick, let's build a new train if we can afford it. New John Bull, 23k, sure. Actually, before we do that, it might be a good idea to double the track here in Baltimore, if you can afford that. Because we will have more trains coming in here, right? And we cannot build any double track bridges yet, I think. That's something that is for later. Okay, well, still we can do it like this, I guess. Can we not do that yet? I thought we could do it. Double track. I guess maybe that's an invention that comes later. But doesn't matter. We can build a new train. There we go. John Bull. Let's continue with the John Bull. Why change the winning team, right? And we'll do Baltimore, Frederick. And back, yeah. That's passenger's cart. Frederick probably needs food, right? Yeah. They have a lot of passengers too. Maybe we should start in Frederick, actually. Because Baltimore, as I saw here, they don't have many passengers left. And Frederick doesn't have it either. I guess it doesn't matter so much. We will do Baltimore or Frederick then. A couple of passengers. A bit of mail, a bit of food. Frederick also supplies approximately the same thing. We might also look at these things like lumber, milk. See if we can connect Frederick up to that, and same for Baltimore and the other places. But the easiest way to get started is just to connect the cities. Let's try that first. Okay, here we go. Second train. The second line of the Baltimore and Ohio company, ruled by JJ Elgamin. Alright, I hope that in this episode we can still connect to Harper's Ferry. And the next episode we will do the other 5 years of the playthrough. And hopefully in that time we will be able to connect to Philadelphia as well. Although I think that's quite a ways off. Alright. And pause. Okay, this is a big money maker, this one. Let's see. Oh yeah, you get to get a little... You even get that. That's what I love about this game. So many details, you know. You get this tiny little picture-in-picture of the train moving on. We can even lock it. And we can watch it from the... while playing the rest of the game. They knew their audience, man. This was in a time when PC games were generally still considered a thing for like nerdy people. And these kinds of games were still, interested in doing stuff like this because they knew that their audience was niche and would appreciate it. Okay, 49k. Ooh, oh dear. 60k. Oh no. Ah no. We cannot issue the dividend. They probably don't like that. No, investors don't like that. Okay, we will restore the dividend soon, guys. We have 2 trains coming in who are going to make a lot of money for us. There we go. 600k. Oh, 900k. Holy shit. Okay, let's please the shareholders then. Change dividend. Shares outstanding. Let's change it to $5. Get 100k dividends a year. I think we can afford that. Let's do that. You can also repay this loan if we want. Or should we? No, I think we should just use the money to connect Harper's Ferry. And point 2 of. Okay, there's this lumber mill. I think. Yeah, logs to lumber. Okay. I think Frederick needed lumber. Who needed lumber? You guys need lumber? Yeah, demand lumber. That's good, because this guy produces lumber. Any other lumber mills around here? There's coal. That was always the big money maker with this game was the steel factories, but I don't see any. Maybe there's one in Philadelphia. No, the steel mills. Or maybe they are in a later date, probably, because it's only 1835, right? There's not many steel mills around. Let's see. What will oh, is this double track? I don't need double track. Single track. This is a big expense. 180k. That's not as much as I thought, actually. And all the gradients are still very low because this is, you know, the tutorial area. Let's see. This one. Harper's Ferry. Alright. There we go. Harper's Ferry, guys. We will build the sending and water tower here. And we will extend the... Oh, they need logs. Okay, I guess we'll do that first then. Because they need logs and they will turn it into... Okay, this is a logging camp. So logging camp around here. I vaguely recall there's also like a way to easily... Is it this one? Map overview. I'm looking for... logs. Where are they? Cotton kettle, grain passengers. Oh. No. Logs. Clear. Logs. So useful, man. Here's logs. This one needs logs. So yellow means that it needs it. It needs the logs. And white means it supplies the logs. So here's some logs. Is that worth it to connect that up? It's quite a ways, I think. Yeah. I think we will not do it for now. If we have a bit more money, maybe. The second train, right? We should rename this train, actually. Can we do that? I vaguely recall that you were allowed to do that. Maybe in the train. Ah, well, it doesn't matter so much. We will extend train number 2 to move also to Harper's Ferry. What does Harper's Ferry need? They need logs only. So I guess passengers. You can do with one less passenger. You can remove the food. The train will speed up a bit. And from Frederick we can have one less passenger. And maybe the lumber once we are making some. Although I don't know if we will make some if we don't supply the logs. But let's see. Alright, I think guys we will leave it there for the first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed me wallowing in nostalgia for a bit. We're gonna keep playing this game for the next episode still, I think, and then we'll continue on with the campaign. You know, you saw the starting screen. It's not going to be a very long series. I think maybe 15 episodes or so. But I just really felt like doing this. Hope you guys enjoy it, and we will see each other on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.